Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Two Peas in a Podcast. We had a week off last week because I was away, but I'm back and we are here for episode 21. We turn legal in the States. Yay.
Super excited about this and excited to be back. I missed you guys. I missed talking, doing this, so I'm ready to go.
We're so ready. We're so ready. Well, I mean, we are and we're not, because we're going to tell you what we're going to talk about in a second. But for those of you who don't know who we are, my name is Katie. I'm based here in the UK, and my very glamorous, gorgeous co-host is the fabulous
Jessica over here in America. What's up?
Yeah. Cheers. I'm just moving my camera a little bit. There you go. So yes, we are here, and I say we. I use the royal we because I mean me. I decided to focus today's podcast, and Jess was kind of loving it and kind of hating me for the same time, on our most embarrassing moments. Okay, I know. Why did I pick that? I think we all need to laugh right now. And hey, if we can share our embarrassing moments and make you laugh, then I think we're not doing a bad thing.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what we as content creators do anyways, is bring joy and pleasure to the world. So this is just another way that we're doing that.
Exactly.
And boy, do I have some embarrassing moments. I was thinking like every time that I re-listen to a reading, I'm cringing, but I'm not going to. Those won't be on the list, basically.
No. Look,
I say some things sometimes during my readings where I'm just like, Jessica.
But as I said to you before we pressed record, like when you hear my stories, honestly, you'll be like, girl, you win. So like I am the definition of cringe. Don't worry about it. It's all going to be fine. If we've got a laugh out of this, then we're doing a good job, right?
Okay, you go first.
Well, I will go first because I introduced the topic, so I think it's only fair. So I want to take you back, come back with me to 2010. So yeah, this wasn't a kid thing. This was a fully adult thing. And I had met the man who would go on to become my husband. And so we met in the March of that year. And in the August, he took us both on vacation, as you would call it, on holiday. And we went to Tenerife for a couple of weeks, and it was lovely. It was half board. It was glorious sunshine, warm weather, girls getting tan, living my best life. It was fabulous. Anyway, so downstairs, before you went in for dinner, there was like a little bar area, and so we would have a drink before we went in for dinner, right? So you go, I mean, I was 15 years ago, so, and I'm perimenopausal. I didn't look like then what I look like now. I had a little skinny, tiny figure, not that I'm a big girl, but I'm a bigger girl than I was. Anyway, so I come down with these like short shorts on, right? They've got kind of fringing and tassels and a little cute top to go with them. And I was feeling good, girl. I'd done my hair, I'd done my makeup, and your girl was looking fresh, and your girl was looking good, right? He goes to get us both a drink, and we're sitting there and we're chatting and we're enjoying the sunshine. And there were kids playing UK football, America soccer, right? Not seriously, they're just kicking the ball about. And it wasn't hard. Obviously, there are people sitting around, they were just passing the ball back and forth. And one of my things that I have is if I see people in trouble, I can't help it. I am instinctively drawn to help. I can't, it's like a knee-jerk reaction. I can't help it. I just want to go in and help. That's just who I am. So the ball goes into the pool, right? And it's bobbed over to the middle of the pool. But the pool, it's only at the shallow end, so it comes up to my knee. And I've got short shorts on. So me being me, I'll get it, right? So I take off my shoes and I step into the pool and I'm wading across the water slowly. Everyone's kind of watching, well, not everyone, but people watching me. And I got this far away from the ball and my left foot went from underneath me and I went completely under the water. And I mean completely. Right, all of me went underneath the water, right? Obviously, you kind of like, and I found my footing and I came back up. And now, everyone's watching me now, right? The whole, but all of the people, everyone's watching me and everyone's laughing and clapping. And I'm embarrassed, obviously. I mean, literally bright red, but I'm just like, so And I thought, well, I'm wet now. I may as well get the ball. So I got the ball and I threw it back to them, and they were like, oh, thanks. I was like, you're welcome. Waited back, everyone's still laughing and clapping and cheering, and my face is the colour of a tomato. And I come out the pool, and the guy I'm with, he's laughing too. And of course, I look like a drowned rat now. And so I can't go for dinner looking like this. I've now got to go upstairs and get changed and start my outfit all over again. So I said, give me the key. I said, stay here, I won't be long. And stupidly, I didn't think to dry my feet before I started walking, and I didn't put my shoes back on. So I go up to, and there's marble steps. And on the third step, there was a cockroach. The girl freaked out, slipped, fell down, banged my knee. And everyone's still laughing and cheering and clapping too. So, and for the rest of the holiday, the vacation, I was known as pool girl. But even by the staff, they were like, "Hey, pool girl."
Everybody was like laughing and clapping for you. Just makes it 100 times worse.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't stand that feeling when I'm in public and people are looking at me. Like, I get super, like, even if it's in a positive way, I'm just like, oh, don't look at me, don't look at me. So to have that,
yeah,
I would have just stayed under the water.
Even the staff, even the staff, like, you know, because like I say, we would get our breakfast and our dinner and they would be like, "Hey, poor girl, what do you want?" And I'd be like,
like, I want to talk to your manager. No. I'm so, telling you, I would have just stayed under the water.
Well, yeah. I mean, I can't swim, but I'm not like a super strong swimmer. And so it's a bit of me that panicked. I wasn't really thinking about like, I'm going to come up and this is going to be embarrassing. I was just like kind of flailing. And so, yeah, it was what it was, but deeply embarrassing. Really funny in hindsight. I've told this story now over the years many times, and it is funny. And if it happened to anybody else, I would be laughing along too, to be fair. But when it happens to you, the embarrassment at the time it took me a long time to find the funny.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's part of this whole episode is cringing moments that we probably are like, that wasn't fun. Sorry, I'm getting a notification. I've been getting hit by spammers on YouTube.
Ugh.
Since this is just a casual episode, we're just gonna talk, okay? But yeah, and it's the one where it's like, my life was changed by this book, manifesting by whatever, and I'm just like, and when I say that I'm getting hit, like literally I'll have to go in and delete like 10 comments at a time. It's really ridiculous. So I've been having to keep an eye on that because spamming actually messes you up with the algorithm because people are just only clicking on your video just to comment real quick and then they're leaving. So it's like, it messes with the algorithm. It's just a whole thing. But anyways.
They're embarrassing, right?
I'm going to tell you something. Okay. Now, since you started with something involving an ex-partner, I will too, because I only have one of those on my list. So if you guys were here for the last podcast, I had talked about when, you know, we were talking about body positivity and all that. And I had talked about the time where I didn't shave my underarms with that guy. I don't want to say his name, but it was specific to this guy. We had broken up. Okay. And we had just, for whatever reason, we don't need to get into it, but we had broken up. And I was in one of my in-between jobs and I was working at Ross at the time. And I think you remember when I worked at Ross?
Yeah, I remember.
So I was, just long story short, I was in there stocking one evening and I was working on the women's clothes and I was readjusting and doing my thing and all of that. And then all of a sudden I noticed the door, him come in, which at first it was like, whatever, you know, not a big deal. Then I noticed with him was his new girlfriend. Now he knew,
because I know where this is going.
Yeah, because the story I told you. Now he knew that I worked there. So this is not a coincidence, guys. This is not like a just mistaken, oh, what you doing here type of thing. He definitely knew I was there. He might not have known my shift, but I think he was hoping that I was there. And he, you know, because when he came in, he's very tall, like I said. So he was above all of everything. And I could see him craning his neck. He was on the lookout for me. I don't think his girlfriend knew that about it. I think she was unsuspecting. And so I kind of like hid a little bit at first, right? And then I saw him going back and everything. And then I was walking, like keeping an eye out for him. And I was walking down one of the aisles and I saw him coming my way with his girlfriend. And I literally ran because I had a coworker. And when I say I have no shame and I will run from people in public, I have ran from people, and he's not even the only one that I've ran. Turned
God.
around, stopped, and ran. Then just looking at me like this bitch is crazy. Like that's how high my social anxiety is. That I'll literally run away from you if I don't want to talk to you. So I had a coworker next to me. I sat and shot off to the left and ran and dove. Because at this point, just like Katie had said in her story, I was a lot smaller then. I was a lot smaller. I was like 165 or something. So I dove into a display of throw pillows. They had like a cage that held throw pillows, and there's like this big opening, and I literally like swan dived into it. I don't know. I'm guessing he walked by. I heard footsteps and everything, and then I dug myself out and I looked up, and my coworker was looking down at me. She's like, "Girl, are you okay?"
All I can think about is like some kind of Looney Tune cartoon, you know, where they would run off and there'd be like the silhouette and smoke because they'd gone so fast, and there'd be like the cloud behind them.
Scaled the walls like the Exorcist lady if it meant not giving him the satisfaction. Okay,
It wasn't the fact that you just
introducing
ran.
his new girlfriend to me, like, and that wasn't really actually an embarrassing moment for me. It's just very cringe, and it's very like it's funny, and it's like the me now would have just faced him and his girlfriend and been like, oh, you know, I hope you guys are happy together, and it would have been whatever. But at that time, I was wildly insecure, wildly avoidant, did not want to deal with this at all, and you know, so I did what I had to do.
It's not just the fact that you ran away, it's the fact that you swan dived into a cage. It's just the funniest thing.
I was looking for the closest area to hide, and that was just available. So I just went right into it and covered myself up.
Like the Olympic divers, right?
Listen, zombie apocalypse, I'm fine, guys. You don't need to worry about me. Like I'll be hiding, blending into like the dirty clothes pile. Anyways, yeah.
Funny. It's so funny. It's oh my god, it's hilarious. It's hilarious. Every time I hear about it, I just imagine this swan dive. The cage.
I came back in contact with him quite a few times over the years, like randomly. Um, and I never told him that. I never told him that I saw him with his new girlfriend in there, and that I know that he brought her in there on purpose. So,
And then
you
watched
know,
you run away and dive into a cage.
I'll leave that part out. But yeah,
Oh, geez, Louise. Well, speaking of embarrassing yourself because of men or in front of men, this is quite a short one, but it is really embarrassing. So I must have been about 12, 13, I would say. And you know, it's like at that age, you know, you're starting to get interested in boys if you're that way. But they're never really boys your age, kind of a little bit older. And of course, there was a boy in the area who I think he was about 14, but I thought he was just like you know like the cutest guy ever, and like you know when like you every time you see him you're like right, he's just like, I mean, if I go back now I probably wouldn't think he was all that at all, but at the time you are like swoon, right, a boy. Anyway, my friend came over to see me from school, and I knew that he was down the other end of the road with his mates, right? So there's probably about five of them, and they were on their bikes, and they were just, you know, doing boy things, just hanging out, I suppose. And I'm like, I said to her, should we go to the shop? Now, she didn't know, she knew afterwards, but at the time she didn't know why I wanted to walk down there. But I had made myself look cute. I mean, not like sexy, I'm 12, but I thought I looked cute. And I was like, can we go to the shop? And she was like, yeah, if you want. So, and I know he's down the end of the road, right? So I'm going to walk past him to the shop. I'm in my head, I'm like, he's going to look at me. He's going to be like, oh my God, Katie's so pretty. Well, I can't, as we're walking side by side, I don't want to look at him in case he catches me looking at him. It's a whole thing. If you're a woman, you'll get this. So I'm not looking where I'm going. I'm talking to her as I'm walking forwards. Now that I'm a lot older and I'm like, if you go out and about shopping, this is one of the things that drives me insane is that people who are walking forwards but are not looking where they're going because they're going to crash, right? I'm talking to her, but I'm walking forwards. I didn't just fall over. I walked headfirst into a lamppost, fell off the curb into the road.
Sorry. Just like the visual of you, like, you know, those cartoons where people are running and their legs and their arms go out? I think that's what I'm seeing in my mind.
Like, literally, it's like, yeah, bang. And then because of the shock, I then fell off the side of the pavement, sidewalk, into the road. Look at this, no cars coming on my backside. And of course, now that's a little bit of commotion because obviously I must have gone or something. And she's now like, oh my God, and bent down to help me and laughing. And the boys at the bottom of the road now turn, oh, now they're looking at me. Oh, now they're looking at me. Oh, yeah, you bet your ass they're looking at me. And what are they all doing? Laughing their heads off. Did I ever get with that boy? No. Did he ever speak to me? No. But
He
yeah.
spoke about you. That's a
Oh, yeah, for
plus.
sure.
That's a plus. You gotta look on the bright side here. At least you were definitely in his thoughts for the remainder of the day.
Absolutely. Not in the way I wanted, right? But at least he was talking about me. Safe to say, being, and you'll find it with the rest of my stories, being on my own 2 feet is always a problem that causes embarrassment, but also members of the opposite sex, I am really good at embarrassing myself, for sure.
Yeah, I think that's where your kids get their clumsiness from.
Oh, yeah.
It's
I am
definitely from you. No offense, girl. No, I love you.
Considering I've been a dancer for 18 years, you'd think I'd be quite graceful, but no, I'm a complete klutz.
It's okay.
It's a
I
thing.
still love you and accept you regardless.
With my big ass clumsy feet. But anyway.
Well, since you told a story about falling down, I'll tell one. And this is, guys, this is the most embarrassing moment of my life thus far.
So far.
You put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. No. But it's true though, because you never know, right? Every day is a new opportunity to embarrass oneself. Um, guys, please be gentle, okay? When it comes to this, because this was so embarrassing for me.
You were really setting this up quite high.
This was the most embarrassing moment. Okay. So this was happened in this house, and as I move on with the story, you're gonna know what I'm talking about. So
Okay.
it was in this house that I currently live in. I have a mailbox that's on like a little bit of a ledge, like it's the grass and everything, and then it's like a dirt ledge, and I live on like a dirt road. So it's a pretty significant like drop down to the road. Um, and so my mailbox is like right there on the edge of it. So I go out one day to go check my mail. Okay. And I put my foot as far as I could onto the ledge without actually going over and had to lean around because where my mailbox is, you have to lean. Okay. And so I leaned to go get in the mailbox, and all of the sand and the dirt that's supporting my leg.
Ooh, okay.
Sorry, y'all. It gets so much worse.
It does. Anyway,
I wish that obviously what I'm about to say, I'm falling, right? I wish that was the worst part. So I'm falling down and I can't stop myself because it's like, again, it's a significant drop. I literally like tumble down, okay? On my knees like this, like, oh, I had I don't even want to say this. I had really loose house shorts on that came down like to my knees. And I had underwear on, thank God.
Thank God.
Okay, I was wearing underwear, but my shorts are now. So I stood up real quick and went to go pull up my shorts. And right at that fucking moment, some asshole in a truck comes around the corner. And I'm literally pulling my pants up. And he's just stopped looking at me, and I'm just like mean mugging. I'm like, can you drive off? Like, obviously, I just fell. I have my mail all splattered around me.
Oh my God. You were
He
definitely
didn't
in that
stop
guy's
and roll
book.
down his window and ask if everything was okay. Thank God, because I feel like that would have made it worse. But yeah, that was the most embarrassing moment of my life because not only was I pantsless in front of a complete stranger, I had just rolled down the hill like, I don't know. I don't know the equivalent. I just know I rolled. Okay, I was like, boom, boom, boom.
Oh God. And that's the thing, isn't it?
Now when I go and get my mail, I stand back and I just reach around with my arm and grab it because people are probably like, well, why don't you just walk down the driveway? Y'all, my yard is huge and my driveway is all the way around to get to my mailbox. That's the fastest way is just walk up to it and do it.
That's the thing. It's the embarrassing thing is not just the fall or whatever. It is other people. Like it would be bad enough if you just fall and it was just you, right?
Yeah, because I live on a dirt road and back here, there's like a select amount of people that actually live back here. Like it's kind of like dead ends. So you can't get out. You
Yeah.
have to come back out. So there's not really a lot of traffic that happens. It's like, why at that moment when that specific thing happened and my pants were to my knees, did somebody have to come around? Like that was literally the most embarrassing. I was shook for the rest of the day. I was so damn embarrassed.
You've never seen him again, I hope.
Well, I've seen the truck, but I don't know. We don't like, talk
He'd
or
be
anything.
like giving you an eyeball as he's going past, like making sure that you're upright and.
I'm sure he was wondering what just happened, right? Like, is she some weird person that maybe, I don't know, pees or craps by her mailbox? Because, my legs were or my pants were down. I mean, if you're sitting here thinking about just reasonable explanations of why somebody is half dressed out in the road, going to the bathroom in the street doesn't seem unfeasible at that moment, right? Also, if he was aware, he would have noticed too that my mail was sprawled around me. I probably had leaves and shit in my hair because it just rolled down a freaking hill. So hopefully he saw that and was like, okay, well, she must have fallen. But the fact that I like mean mugged him, like, stop staring at me and drive. Like,
Jesus Christ.
I was like, just drive. Go ahead. Go do what you gotta do.
I hadn't even thought that he might think you're going to the bathroom outside. That is so funny. I'm sorry, but that is funny.
I think the only way that it could have been worse is if it would have been like my neighbor coming around the corner. Not only because is he extremely attractive, but also because I have to live next to him and see him and talk to them and all that. That'd have been the only way it would have been worse. But yeah, it was just some random dude that lives back over here. There's a couple of them, so I don't know, but that was literally the most embarrassing. And again, not necessarily about the fall, just being pantsless in front of a stranger.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, it's other people. It's the fact that it's not the fact that it happened, that's bad enough. It's witnesses. That's what makes it embarrassing.
Yeah.
Because you're so like, again, because you think, how would you react in that situation if you saw somebody do?
I threw those pants out. I threw those shorts in the garbage. They betrayed me. Okay, they are out of here. They're not welcome in this house anymore, as far as I'm concerned. Okay. Anyway,
you had a breakup with those shorts.
We just threw them out, just discarded them.
I was going to say kick to the curb, but maybe that's not appropriate.
It's definitely too soon, Katie, but thanks.
Okay, well, it follows on really nicely, my story, the next one. So, you know that you get likes to drink. I'm not going to have a problem, but I like a little of alcohol every now and then. So, this is way back when, Jesus, I would have been 19 when this happened. And I used to work for a 70s bar on a Friday and Saturday night called Flares. So I loved it. It was one of my best part-time jobs I've ever had. The girl is performing arts, as you know, all the way, jazz hands, glitter, you know what I'm like. And I got to dress up and I got to wear wigs and I got to wear makeup and we did theme nights. We did like Grease, Jackson 5, Rocky Horror Picture Show. Like your girl was in her element. I had such a good time working there. But also the bosses that we had originally were just the best. Steve and Shelley. And they were a couple, and that was all female staff, apart from the doorman and Steve. And he really looked after us. He was like this pseudo father figure, and he nurtured us and he took care of us. And for a Christmas night out, he took us to the big Flares in Birmingham. And it was massive. It was like 3 floors or something. It was huge. And we had to buy our own drinks, but he paid for us to get in. And he put a minibus on, and we were having a great old time with dancing and drinking. And there's all the girls were having a great laugh. And I was drinking a drink called Blue WKD, which is vodka base, and it's obviously blue, and it comes in a bottle. And I was 19. I'm drinking them. I wasn't drunk, but I was having a good time. My friend started buying them for me because we was like, I'll buy you a drink and then you can buy me one back. Cool. Unbeknownst to me, which I know you're going to have feelings about this, and to be honest, it's not a great thing, but we were 19. It is what it is. She was putting tequila in top of the drink while she was buying. She was putting a shot of tequila in the bottle. Not great. She thought it was a bit of a laugh. It's fine. So don't worry, this isn't a dark story, guys. This doesn't get like weird. This just gets funny. So I go from being a little bit having a good time to like I'm drunk, right? You gotta can't handle tequila. And so talk about pants down. Jesus. On the minibus on the way back, um, we're going down the motorway, freeway, and I decide that I don't feel very well, right? I don't feel very well because I've been drinking, right? And we're driving, and so I'm going to, I need to pull over, I need to pull over. So they pull over to the side of the road, and I am vomiting. I'm going, my sick is blue, my sick is blue. And then, but at the same time, I also decide that I need to wee. So I pull my pants down and I'm squatting and I'm peeing on the side of the road and being sick at the same time, going, my sick is blue. And cars are driving past. My ass is to the road. So, this shows you the danger of alcohol, guys. This is what alcohol does. I don't care. I don't care that they're beeping me, going, oh, I'm going, hi, my sick is blue, look. In the end, the girls, thank God, were going, Katie, come on, get back in the van. Let's just go home. At the time, I didn't think it was embarrassing at all. I thought it was really funny until the next morning when they all reminded me about it. And then for ages, yeah, even looking at that drink made me go, ugh. Not sick, but cringe of embarrassment that I had burned my bare backside to a complete busy road. The M6 in the UK is one of the busiest motorways, and cars were beeping me and shouting and cheering, and I thought it was really funny.
Wow. Well, maybe we can make a connection here because maybe somebody watching was one of the people that drove by and they were always wondering who that woman was that had her arse out on the street. Like, that's the kind of story that you tell people. You know, like one time I was driving by this woman, she was pissing on the side of the road.
Funny is that on the big metal things that go over the road, there's cameras, right, to watch the traffic. Yeah. Can you imagine if I got a traffic cop coming to see me? I mean, God, that I didn't.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I just would have laughed my head off because I was so gone. I didn't care.
I feel like nowadays you probably would have, or it'd been something that would have put on social media.
Oh God, can you imagine? I would be all over TikTok.
Like the worker with the caption, I don't get paid enough for this.
I would be literally, I would make a traffic queue of people filming me for TikTok. I swear to God.
Oh my God, that's horrible.
And that's horrible.
And also, I'm glad that you acknowledge that it's not great that your friend kind of roofied you with alcohol in a way. Like, feeding people drugs or alcohol against their will is not a cool move.
No, and luckily, like nothing really bad happened. I mean, it was embarrassing, sure, but nothing bad happened.
In a way, she probably learned her lesson too.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just glad. I mean, there's things about growing older that aren't great, but I am glad that we grew up when there was no social media because
I know. Having social media now, it's got its ups, but it definitely it saves you from a lot of things.
A lot of cringe.
Going viral.
The cringe is just over here rather than online for everyone to see.
Yeah. And those become like your war stories later in life. Like not something that is a memory on Facebook that pops up and you're like, oh man, and I shared that. Because I remember like back in the day when I was on Facebook, like when Facebook first started, I shared everything going on in my life because that was what you were supposed to do, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So
I have 3 more stories. Do you have, is that it for you?
No, I've got 2 more and they're to do with me hurting myself. So yeah.
Okay, so I have 3 and I'll start with one where I hurt myself. So I'm not a sports person. I want to start this story by saying that I'm not really a sports person. I do like to watch soccer and watch certain sports, but I'm not like into sports. But for whatever reason, when I was growing up, I wanted to play soccer really, really bad. So I had joined the team, and this was in, I think, like junior high or something. I had joined the soccer team, except for I wasn't showing up to practices because all they did at practice was run. And I was like, I don't want to run. like, so it's like that's the whole point of soccer. Like, it's literally a sport where you're running. But I was like, I don't want to run. I'm not running for an hour and a half after school or whatever. So I didn't show up. But I did show up to the game because I had my nice little uniform and I was like, my sports band. I was like, I'm a soccer player. So the coach is like, okay, let's practice some kicks. And he was kind of like unsure about even letting me play because I hadn't shown up to any practices. But we were short a couple people. He was like, whatever, okay. So I went out on the field and everything. We're practicing kicks into the goal and everything. And I went and I kicked, and man, highlight of my life. This was such an awesome, amazing kick. And it went right into the goal. And the look of shock on everybody's face, even my own, and especially the coach, he was like, oh shit, well, she didn't need to come to practice because she's really awesome. So they were like super excited and everything. So we went around, went through everybody, and it was my turn to kick again. So by this time, everybody was watching me because that first kick was super awesome. So I go to kick again, and this time I have confidence. Like, I'm putting power behind it because I'm like, I'm naturally gifted at this. Like, I must be awesome when it comes to soccer, and I had no idea. So I go to kick, and the grass was so wet and slippery that I literally did like a split out there on the field in front of everybody, missed the ball. So the ball was just sitting there, and on top of it, hurt my ankle and wasn't even able to play the rest of the game. And it was like a shameful moment where I could just see the look on the coach's face where it's like, I have to start vetting people a little bit more that want to be on this team because this is embarrassing.
See him going from like hope and excitement to being like, oh yeah, never mind.
And we're kids too, and kids can be really ruthless. So they were like, oh, it was just like. And unfortunately, that's not my only sports moment where I've been embarrassed.
Did you ever play soccer again, or was that it?
No, that was it. I was done. I mean, one thing that people can say about me is I do take a hint. I might be willing to try anything, and I may be willing for it, but as soon as I realize it's not going to work out in my favor, I kind of bounce. And so I moved on to another sport where I had another embarrassing moment that we'll talk about because for some reason I was like, I'm supposed to be playing sports, even though I was not that kid. I was the kid who went home and stayed in from the heat and read after school. I was not a sports person, so I don't know why I had it in my mind growing up. You're supposed to be in the sport. No.
It reminds me, it's not my story, but it's one of the funniest things is that we went temping bowling once, and there was a girl who had never been bowling in her life. I don't know how you never go bowling, but anyway, she said that she didn't really know what she was doing, so we were kind of showing her how to bowl, and she got the ball like this with two hands, and she went down to the line and she kind of rolled it like the kind of like a gentle push, and it went like it took about 3 minutes to get to the pins. Like, it was the slowest thing. It stopped before the pins and then rolled all the way back to her feet. I have never laughed so much in my entire life. It was the funniest thing. Like, so maybe bowling's not for you.
Yeah. Bowling, I feel like bowling is, it takes practice. You just need to kind of try.
Yeah. But
I love bowling, actually. It's fun.
Oh yeah, I love it. But it was so funny. Like you say, there's a reason you've not been bowling before, huh?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, funny. Okay, so sports, right? This is good because my final two stories involve sports and involve me hurting myself. So hey, we're on the roll. This is good. We didn't plan this, guys. It's just the way it seems to have gone. So hey, we're besties. So my next story involves roller skating. We have established that Katie is a klutz, a clumsy klutz who's not good on her own 2 feet. Why I thought I could try roller skating? I don't know. I thought it would be fun, right? So I am a child of divorced parents, and I lived with my mom growing up, and my dad lived about 2.5 hours away. And when I was little, he'd come and see me once a month, but also I would go and stay with him during the holidays, right? And see the rest of my family, my grandparents, all that. And so I must have been about 11. I was 11. And he took me to this place, and it was an amazing place. It also had like a soft play area and an arcade, and it was a real full kit kind of place. And in the middle was a roller skating rink. a round thing, right? And obviously not square. You can't roller skate on a square ring, that'd be weird. And so yeah, a big rolling round ring. And there was tables and chairs around the outside, obviously for parents and also people having drinks and snacks and whatever. Bear in mind one key thing about this. My dad can't roller skate. Why he's the one to take me roller skating when he can't roller skate, I don't know. I don't know. No idea. We never spoke about it. It was a thing. And he obviously was looking for things that I could do while I was with him. And he was like, kids like roller skating, right? I'll take her to a roller skating rink. So I get the skates on, and all the time I'm going, I don't know what I'm doing. He's like, oh, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Just hold on to the edge, right? And then they've got the little, like, and I think the little kind of guys that you hold on to, the little, like, they weren't penguins, but little things that you can hold on to and kind of learn how to practice. He said, you'll be fine. I said, you're not coming on with me? He's like, nah, I've got my newspaper. I'll get a coffee. I'll sit over here and you'll be fine. Okay. I'm 11. I'm just like, okay, fine. Now I'd be like, no, but back then you're 11, it's fine. So I get my skates on and I'm kind of going to the edge. He helps me onto the rink and then he goes and sits down. And I'm literally like my knuckles are white. I'm holding onto the edge that time because I'm scared, right? I'm scared. I'm scared because I've got wheels on my feet and I don't know what I'm doing, right? Anyway, so I'm going around the edge and I must have worked up the courage, I suppose, stupidly, to let go, right? And thinking, well, I'll just take it really slow. And I'm like Bambi, right? So I'm just like hardly moving. I'm kind of like, right? And I wasn't in the middle, but neither was I near the edge. So I was a little bit ways in. And I'm doing okay. I'm not brilliant. I'm not going to be like an Olympic skater or anything, but I'm doing okay. I'm moving slowly, but I am moving. At this moment, a group of three boys come up behind me, younger than me. One of them sees me, thinks it's really funny in front of his mates to push me over. I fell because I had no balance. My right arm went underneath me, and I have a very sore right arm, and I'm now on the floor in the middle, well, not the middle, but towards the middle of a roller skating rink. I look up trying to see my dad. My dad hasn't even realized he's reading the paper, right? And I'm like trying to get up with one hand on wheels, right? I can't. So, and like the steward guy, the staff, he saw me and he was like, clear a path, clear a path, clear a path, lady down, girl down, clear a path. And literally had to like scoop me up and like walk me over to my dad. And he was just like, oh, what have you done? Anyway, took me to the hospital. I had a hairline fracture.
Oh, wow.
And I was in plaster for 6 weeks.
That sucks. Well, that wasn't really your clumsiness, though.
No, but if I'd been more, well, A, I suppose I don't want to go roller skating, Dad, thank you very much. Or B, just, I don't know, maybe if
No,
I'd been more confident, but because I was like already like Bambi on ice, like it wouldn't, I was gonna fall over at some point.
I think this is one of those moments where you cannot blame yourself for that. Because when somebody comes up behind you and pushes you, it's like, what are you supposed to do? Even if you're one of the best roller skaters ever, being pushed.
Yeah.
But it's funny because how you said, because I used to be a huge fan of the roller rink. I loved roller skating. And one of the things I was going to say is like you not being in the middle, but then not being at the edge. That's like the left lane here in Florida on the interstate where you're literally, if you're not going like at least 80, 90 miles an hour, you need to get out of that lane. So I thought that you were going to get like pummeled almost by like a group of people flying through because that's usually the area where everybody spins or speeds around, excuse me. So when you said that you got pushed, I was like, well, this is dark. Like, this isn't like her fault. Like, damn. But that sucks though. I'm sure you've been in the cast many times, right?
Oh yeah, well, I've had a plastic cast on my left arm when I was younger when I fell and tried to save myself and broke. I got a hairline fracture in my left arm. So yeah, they're the two broken bones I've had. But yeah, it was more the kind of the guy, the staff member, like, excuse me, girl down, like I'm coming through. That was the embarrassing bit because nobody really noticed until that point.
Because it's like he's waiting for this moment. Like, like this is why he wakes up every day. This is why he puts on the uniform, to be able to help people like you. He was like, I got you.
Yeah, I've done my training. I know what I'm doing. I've got, yeah, it was just, yeah, it was embarrassing. But hey, these things happen, right?
It's funny. Okay. In the spirit of keeping this moving along. So this one, I titled my stories, by the way, because that's just how
Oh.
I am. This one's called Baby Oil Hands.
Is this going to get dark with the whole P. Diddy thing? Should we be worried about baby oil?
Never gonna look at baby oil the same way again. No, this is not one of those type of situations. So again, we were done with soccer. So then we decided basketball because
For those that don't know,
I
Jess,
have to be involved in some kind of sports. I'm meant to be a sporty person.
sure, but for those that don't know, Jess is not super tall,
No,
right? I am taller than Jess. I am 5'7". Jess is not 5'7".
5'1" and a
Basketball.
half on a good day. And since we lose height as we age, by the time I'm at the end of this life, I'll probably be about 5'1", maybe 5 foot, depending on how much I shrink, because we just naturally do shrink. Um, so yeah, I'm not a tall person. And again, a sport where you're running constantly, like why am I getting into these sports where it's like running and I am not a runner? Even to this day, I'm not a runner. I didn't want to run. Okay. So basketball. And I'm convinced that this is it. This is because I like basketball. I like watching it. I'm like, this is what I'm supposed to do. So I get into basketball and everything, and I'm okay. Like as far as like shooting shots, like it's okay, And nobody seemed to say anything about my height. I guess it was like an inclusive thing. Like we're not going to turn a child away because they're not tall. Like I'm sure there are really good short basketball players out there too. So we have this game, and we're on their turf. Okay, because it was an away game. So we went to an away game. And these girls were intimidating. Okay, like when they first came in, they were doing like their practice, and first of all, they ran around the court like 3 times, just kind of mead mugging us. And we're all like, what the hell? Because I'll give credit to my school because we did the best that we could, but I grew up in like a really poor area. So our basketball like courts were not what we were going to be using at a school that had more money and was actually like to spec of basketballs. Like even our basketballs that we used to practice with were like big ones that you would use at home, not the ones that you get in an actual game. Because when you go to play basketball, like in an actual game, the basketballs are smaller. I don't think a lot of people know that unless you've actually played. There's a small ball. So we're completely out of our element and like, oh my God, these people have money and all this stuff. And the girls are mean. And we're like, hi. And they're just like growling at us like they're not here to be our friends. It was like a whole thing.
Why is this like a scene from a movie or something, right?
Listen, so we're getting warmed up and we're about to start the game and everything. And me, because I've explained this before on this channel, I am ashy. Okay. So I'm like the best thing to use right before a basketball game, my baby oil, right? So I'm like doing my elbows and my knees and everything. And I'm all cute because I'm a basketball player, right? So we're out there and we're playing and everything. Now, first of all, why they picked me, the shortest person on the team, to actually do like the jump ball at the beginning where you go up against another teammate and then you guys jump to who gets the ball on their side. Why did they choose me? I'm the shortest one on the team. Why? I really want to ask, like, if I could go back and ask my coach why, I would have, but I didn't ask questions. He just called me and I was like, okay. So I went out there. So I gave it all my might and jumped. I didn't even get up to this girl's chest, like, with me jumping. So clearly she won that and got the ball on her side. So we're, playing basketball and everything. And my teammate goes and catches the ball and goes to throw it at me. Right through my hands because of the baby oil. I couldn't keep hold of the ball. Everybody was like, oh, in the crowd. And my teammates were like this, with their like several times trying to grab the ball. I kept going like this and trying to rub my hands. But let me tell you something. Once that baby oil is on, it is not coming off, people. Like it was like in my skin. I could not get it off. And then I was all nervous and embarrassed and sweaty. So I was like,
Well, that's a good mix. Sweaty and baby oil. Yum.
So I had gotten, I forget what it is because even though I played basketball, I'm kind of forgetting all the rules, but I gotten where I was able to do two shots. I think it's where somebody gets a penalty, and to make up for it, the other team does two shots. So I got to do shots, right? So the first one bounced off. I didn't get it. Second shot, it went in. And I sat there like, yeah. And my coach is like, fucking run, right? Like wildly under prepared to be on any sports team. Like I shouldn't, and so frustrating that I made my high school coach cuss at a high schooler. So yeah, he was like, we were like, fucking run. Everybody else is over there and I'm still celebrating in the middle by myself, just amazed that I had made a shot, y'all. So
the irony that you're wearing that t-shirt is not lost on me, by the way.
no, yeah, this is Bayside Tigers. That's a Saved by the Bell.
Saved by the Bell reference. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, saw that. Yeah, because, it's taking me back to my high school days. But that was the end. I'd like to report happily that was the end of my sports career, people. I definitely took the hint after that. There's only so much embarrassment one person can take. Now, I did join my last couple years in high school. I did join the basketball cheerleading team, which I was much more suited for because all I wanted to do was look cute out there anyway. I didn't even care.
And there's no running in cheerleading, so you're fine.
Yeah, so I just got to sit there and look cute and, you know.
Oh, bless you, bless you. It is. It's like a TV show or a movie, right? You get like these kids from this poorer school going to a more wealthy school, and they're mean mugging the girls are like just horrible, and then you're there with your baby oil, getting all and then jump,
jump. What? Trying to hit me, and I'm just like, I'm trying to grab it, and it just literally went right through my hands, like, and I can't hold on to it. I'm trying to dribble it, and it's going away. And I'm just like, this is not,
It really is Saved by the Bell episode.
Any advice that I would have for anybody out there? Lotion up before an important experience. I'm just saying, y'all, like lotion up beforehand and then wash your hands.
Yes.
It's okay. Baby oil wasn't the issue. It was that I did the baby oil right there before I started playing, not because I lack common sense sometimes. You think common sense would tell you like your hands about to be slippery as fuck.
Jesus. It literally feels like you were in Saved by the Bell.
That was one of my favorite shows growing up.
Me too.
Saved by the Bell. And I hate that my childhood kind of got ruined with like their real life stuff and how seedy and gross that they actually turned out to be, a lot of them. But
yeah, but it was a great show. I remember it well. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. God bless you. Okay. My last story is another sports related one. And it also involves me ending up on my backside. So yay, right? Sports and falling over. We love that. So between the ages of 16 to 18, I had my first serious boyfriend. And I went to the all-girls school in the town. He was the head boy of the boys' school, if you please. And as such, they would do like trips out for the two schools together, especially as you got into the later years of the school. And one of them, as soon as I say these words, you know where this is going. One of them was to go ice skating. Now, I told him what happened with the roller skating. He was like, look, I'm going to look after you. I promise I'm not going to let you fall. Just trust me. And I'm like, because you don't want to look like pathetic, right? So, and I'm still trying to be, I'm 16, 17, so he's still trying to be cool, whatever the fuck cool is. So I'm like, okay, if you promise, okay, I'll go. So we get it with like, there's probably about, I don't know, 30 of us, I would say. And so get my ice skates on, and he's literally got me by the hands, right? And he's like, come on, and we're doing the edging, and he's like, I've got you. And I'm still a little bit like shaky. And everybody else is like whizzing around. And I'm still like, And he's like, I've got you. It's going to be okay. He let go of one hand. That's all he did. One hand. Because he had an itchy nose. He's like, hang on. And as he let go of the one hand, because I still don't have the stable, I didn't just fall on my ass, Jess. I went from this position to this position, right? It was like a plank of wood. I went upright to horizontal. Bang, I've gone. My feet went from underneath me and I hit the deck. Bang. And it made a noise as well. It was that hard. And I'm like stunned for a second because anybody knows when you fall, you don't immediately go, ah, right? There's a moment of shock, right? When nothing, and there's like a moment of stillness almost. And I'm just like, whoa. And of course, I'm embarrassed because I've just fallen over and my boyfriend and all of our mates. And so I tried to get up and I can't move. I can't move. I can't move my legs. So now I'm freaking out, thinking, oh crap, what have I hurt my back? Right? Because I literally fell onto my back. I'm thinking, oh my God, I've done something really bad. This is the embarrassing bit. I guess that wasn't bad enough. Obviously, they've called an ambulance because I can't move. And I'm in the middle of a skating rink, right? So everybody, not because it was open to the public, so not just my friends, everybody comes round me in a circle. And they let this happen. They didn't go, give us some room, give us some space. They make a circle around me. So I'm in pain. I'm in shock. I'm now hugely embarrassed. So I put my hands over my face and I cry into my hands. And then they came with I mean, the poor paramedics, they had to come like with the stretcher across the ice and put me on the stretcher and then just kind of waddle back across the ice. Turns out I bruised my coccyx, which is the bone at the bottom of your spine, which where women were, because we're all descended from apes, as you know. So we had a tail in evolution. So that would have been the forming of our tail. It's like it's a tiny little bone that goes like that. It's literally like a tiny little, and I knocked that. So the shock of it had kind of, my whole body system was just like, freeze. So they had to give me some very strong painkillers, and we were in the hospital, me and my boyfriend, for about 3 hours till I was seen. Then we had to get a cab home, and it was just, needless to say, I have never put anything on my feet ever again. I've never put skate, blade, ski on my feet ever again. I can just about cope on my own 2 feet, guys.
Well, there's only so many times you have to learn that lesson.
Yeah, like you with sports. At some point, like you can feel the universe being like, "This isn't good for you, guys."
I just know you were sitting there like, not again, right? Why does this keep happening to me? But honestly, though, I think that's what I injured that time that I fell in the walk-in, and I literally because I went from I used to unload the truck at a restaurant. Yes, me by myself used to unload a truck. And I had to go from the fridge to the freezer. And so I had some like gunk or something under my foot from the freezer. It froze. It made it slick. And I went bam right into a sitting position. And I've never felt that much pain in my life. Like I had to sit there for like 5 minutes trying to figure out what planet I was on because it was intense. So I think that's the bone that I hurt too. And if that's the case, that's a painful injury.
Yeah. It was.
That's
so
painful.
The girls learned her lesson. If you ever see me going to put anything on my feet, please slap me hard.
Yeah. Well, things change. I'm that friend that's like, hey, it could be different this time. I'm optimistic.
No, the girls learned her lesson.
We need to go to the roller skating rink where they have like those walkers, like the walkers for old people. And then you just kind of like, that's what they have.
No, I'll sit on the edge and drink cocoa while I watch other people do it. That's me. and I'll watch you do it, right?
No, I haven't been on skates in a while. I'm not trying to.
No, definitely not. So that's my embarrassing stories.
Injuries don't hit the same way anymore when you're older. Like,
God, no.
Will be in bed for days, or you'll break something. Okay, my last story. This is not an injury, although I think my ego was injured a little bit with this one. So when I was in middle school, I decided with one of my friends to do the talent show. Okay. And I was so ambitious when I was younger, like getting into clubs and sports and talent shows. This is not me now. And now I'm like,
no. That's when you said that. I was like, really?
Right? Like singing in front of people. Although I do like karaoke. But so went to the talent show and everything. And again, this was my friend. Her name was Passionette. That was her name. Passionette. Nice. She was the only other mixed person in my school. Everybody else was either white or black or something solid, like Mexican or whatever. Yeah. I was the only that I knew of. It was a very small school, very small town. Only mixed person. She was also mixed. She was mixed with black and Puerto Rican. So we had that in common. And because of that, we kind of gravitated towards each other. So we decided to do a very popular song, The Boy Is Mine.
Oh, class. Love that song. Were you Brandy or Monica? This is what the world wants to know.
But listen, literally, the plot thickens.
Oh,
okay, because days before the talent show, and we had been practicing, and we knew what parts we were singing. She was singing Brandy, I was singing Monica.
nice.
We were like going back and forth and everything. Yep. Little did I know that the guy that I was crushing on, she had started trying to talk to him. Okay. Ooh. And again, this is like middle school. It's like, so now the meaning of the song really was personal, right? And it was hitting home. And so we got up there and we were doing it. And I was like not happy to be having to do this still, but we had already signed up and it was like set in stone. And so if they were doing it, and I was so into this song, Katie. I cringe thinking about this, like so into this song, like you need to give it up.
Oh my days.
She was just as equally like into it, and no pun intended, passionate about her role. So by the time it was over, we were just kind of sitting there staring at each other, and everybody around us was like, what's going on?
Like, that kind of like clap like that. Yay.
We did not win, but we did place second. Mm. And I got the guy too, but that's
yay.
I was already interested in him. We were already had something going, and then this person kind of inserted herself. So yeah.
And I guess you weren't friends after that, huh?
No, we weren't. And we went into high school, the same high school, and then we kind of the high school had lots of different diversity because it was in a bigger place and everything, and so we kind of just faded apart. But we would kind of see each other every once in a while and just be like, huh, whatever, you know. But yeah.
I love that. So I did a talent show at school as well, and we did the Spice Girls, Who Do You Think You Are? And of course, I was Sporty Spice because I had long, dark hair. I'm from Liverpool originally, and I can do a high kick. So I was Sporty Spice. And we placed second as well. It wasn't any mean mugging, but yeah, we placed second. There was a girl who did the whole dance from, not Fame, the other one. You know, with the water, and she does it wasn't water on stage obviously, but she that whole with the welder dance, and she does the dance. I don't know. Anyway, she did that and she won.
Yeah, I mean, talent show, like the talent show itself wasn't embarrassing. Really, none of that was truly embarrassing. And like looking back, like I don't think the teachers and people really knew what was going on. Maybe like a couple of the kids knew, but it wasn't that. It was just like me looking back on it now, I cringe at the fact that I was up there. I don't know why I was like this as a child. Like, why was I so into like the fantasy and I'm going to be a basketball player and I'm, you know, I'm Monica on stage fighting for some guy. It's like, you're in middle school, relax, you know? Like, it was so embarrassing, like looking back on it. I'm just like,
you know, the end of the music video where you've got Brandy and Monica and they're facing each other and they're giving it like, he's mine, he's mine.
We and then literally don't want to talk about this anymore. Like, I'm done, y'all. Interview's over, right? Ripping off my mic. I'm out of here. Like, this like is so embarrassing. Totally. I wonder if she thinks back to that moment. Like, I don't know where she's at or what she's doing or anything, you know? But I wonder if she thinks back to that high school or, excuse me, middle school, like, talent show and it's like,
hey, the things that you really care about when you think of a huge deal when you're younger, and then you get older and you're like, what was I doing? It's not a big deal, you know. I know. Funny. Well, look, I don't think we're too traumatized, right? I'm not. Are you?
Nah, it's all right. Like I said, most of the people here who are watching that know me from the Media Tarot, I've said way more embarrassing stuff just doing the reading, so it's all good.
It's all good. I might get a message later from Jess saying like, I'm still in cringe, but anyway, we're fine.
I'm just going to just do what we got to do. I'm not even going to look at it. I'm not going to edit it. I'm not going to remove anything. We're just going to do it, and it is what it is. So
put it out there, and look, we just hope that it's made you guys have a laugh. You know, if it's made you smile, if it's made you chuckle, then we've done our job, because that's what we wanted to do today. Like, the world is not a happy place at the moment, so I know if we can bring you a smile at least, then we're doing a good thing.
Yes, and and being cringe and being embarrassed and awkward moments are part of life.
Absolutely. Well, you know what? That's what makes us grow, right? What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, as Kelly Clarkson says.
Yeah, well, I'm incredibly strong. I'll just say that.
Yeah, me too. But anyways, so look, we just hope that you guys enjoyed this one. I don't know what we have planned for the next one. We haven't spoken about it as per because we're so
Yeah.
professional.
I think that it's like at this point, having it in like an advance is not always
Yeah.
going to happen that way. We'll just have
No.
to see. I'll think about it. Maybe something will come to me like last time.
Yeah, well, this whole thing with the embarrassing stories came to me. So yeah, I'm sure it will something will pop up, pardon the pun.
Yeah.
But anyways, thanks guys for watching. We hope that you've enjoyed it, and thanks for being part of this channel. We love you so much. Your support means the world, and keep sharing, keep putting the word out. We want to keep building this audience and putting our stupid selves out there. So we just appreciate you so much.
Yeah. Watch. This will be the one that goes viral.
Oh God, yeah, this will be the one where like they'll be on plastered on everywhere, going, oh my gosh, I know that girl.
There'll be somebody in the comments. I drove by while you were peeing on the side of the road.
I am never gonna live that down, guys. I swear to God, that's gonna haunt me forever.
All
My
right.
sick is blue. Anyway, it is what it is. There's your hashtag. My sick is blue. There you go. There you go.
See, now you're inviting them to start trouble.
I know. I know. I
My
know.
well,
I'm my own worst enemy. I really am. Anyways, look, before we say anything else more embarrassing, we're going to love you and leave you for now, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Have a great week, and we'll speak to you again very, very soon.